Hello, it's me, Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches, here on YouTube to talk about cross stitch like all the cool people do. If you don't know me, you can see my work at lindystitches.com. Here I talk about what I'm working on, what I've finished, what I've accomplished as a cross-stitching human being. Welcome. It is the tail end of March, living in apocalyptic times. I'm not gonna talk about it, because I don't know about you, because I am tired of certain words that I hear 42 million times a day. I am being a responsible human being and citizen of the world, and that's really all I need to say. Right? Can we talk about something else? Thanks. Let's talk about my sampler wall, which I showed you in my last video, sort of. Excuse me as I awkwardly move about. I finally got a good selection of my own needlework up on the wall. I love how it looks. My trunk show is currently out, and so I originally even hung the hooks up with different stuff, but this is what I've done behind my TV in the living room as well, and it's not just for my needlework, but I wanted a needlework wall of my own, and so slap some hooks up, and you know what, things will get into place and you can rearrange them. And if you end up with an extra hook that doesn't have something to go on it when you rearrange, then you just put up some sort of decorating doodad and it looks like you did it on purpose. So here's what we've got going on right now. I am going to definitely talk to you about this one because some of my smaller favorites are over here. This is my side of the bed, and I love these especially. This is my own design. I forget the rest. It's the two owls cuddling. This is Heartstring Samplery T is for Turkey. I showed you that recently. Heartstring Samplery. The Gobbler rides again. Beth, if you just keep designing turkeys, I will go broke. Thank you very much. This is Eye of Newt, which for most people would be a fall stitch, but like stays out year-round. This is something that my mom stitched for me that I don't think I've shown you before, but I will show you one day soon because I have a stash of mom's cross-stitch, most of which is in the attic. Sorry, Mom. I don't know what to say about that, but I'd like to show all of it to you someday. It's like my birth sampler and stuff. Stuff that you're not sure what to do with when you're pushing 40. Anyway, let's get started. Sorry I keep moving you around. I wanted to sit down because the back's hurting. Talking about getting older. My back is aging way faster than the rest of my body, although my eyebrows are trying to disagree. What am I talking about? Let's talk about needlework. Let's talk about what I've been stitching, which has been a lot. Let's talk about things that I fully finished thanks to a great Etsy seller that I can't wait to tell you about. So I have a hanger of glory in my closet that is a pants hanger, and it's holding all of my finishes that I haven't actually got to the display stage yet. We all have these as needleworkers unless you are a super responsible human being and you finish everything. Anyway, long story short, I found this seller called The Rusty Roof on Etsy, and they sell really inexpensive frames. And you can they offer a ton of different sizes, or you can custom order your own size, your own weird size for your weird shaped and sized needlework. And so my husband gave me a Etsy gift card for Christmas, and I like to hoard things, so I hoarded it until now and then thought, you know what, let's just do it. So I'm just going to tell you how much these cost because they're custom frames. For $53, I got the frame I'm going to show you now and this, and I will take that down. That is my Barbara Anna piece. And I love them. So here is my Song of Solomon ship sampler, and I, for whatever reason, decided to leave the glass on this one for now. I haven't finished the back yet, so I can still take it out if I want, but I think it looks fantastic. They only have a few different styles. These two frames that I ordered are the same style. They are a different stain. I don't remember the stain names, but I will put the details down below because I think it really helps seeing them on video, sort of in person, what the color looks like. So this one is kind of the nutmeg color, and I think it looks great. I have actually taken this piece. This is called Song of Solomon Ship Sampler by Robin Melia. You can find this pattern on Etsy. I stitched this in 2016. Where's the date? 2017 I finished this. This is my own colorway. You can see I have the Ethiopian and the American flags, and I added some, ran out of space on my phone. Anyway, so you can find this pattern on Etsy, Song of Solomon Ship Sampler by Robin Melia. I stitched this in 2017, and you can see I added Ethiopian flags and American flags because we are a biracial family, and wanted to personalize it. I love this. So I had actually taken this piece of needlework into my custom framer, like looking for something because the colors are a bit weird. I'm just gonna admit that I went a little bit weird with this one, and so finding a frame was really hard. So I don't know, I really don't know how this worked out so well, but it looks to me perfect. I love it. It makes it kind of a little less weird with the brown frame, and so I think I can hang this pretty much anywhere and it's gonna look fine. Now, I will just say, yes, I paid $50 for 2 custom frames. They're gonna work, they're fine, but you're gonna get details like this, like there's some sort of sticker residue, and like they just went ahead and stained this sticker and left it on there. Like, are these what you're gonna get at your local framer? No. But the front looks fine. It's made out of real wood. The dimensions were custom. I'm a cheapskate. I like thin frames. They look great. So if you're looking for something and don't want to spend an arm and a leg, check out Rusty Roof on Etsy. Here is my Barbara Anna Skinny Wolf Farm. I cannot tell you how much I love how this turned out. I think that wood tone just really complements this piece. They're super lightweight too, so they are wood, but they're super lightweight. But look, we got sticker residue on that one too. And look, see, I've already hung this on the wall. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows but me. Nobody cares, including me. Skinny Wolf Farm. This is a super fun, super quick stitch. I adore this. You can see me rambling about it in previous Flosstube videos. So those are my 2 finishes. Fully finished. Glad to have these on the wall. Would I order more frames from them? Definitely. If I wasn't looking for something special, just wanted to get something on the wall, I think these look nice. I think they look nice. So there's those. You know, I just decided to design something and stitch it right pre-market, and so I just stitched it and threw it out there. I wanted to do kind of a meditative stitch with this hymn by Isaac Watts. It is from 17 something, I can't remember the date. But if you haven't seen it, I did release this pattern just as a PDF in my shop at lindystitches.com. It is the first verse from the hymn, Alas, and Did My Savior Bleed? Stitched this on 40 count, I think pewter Picture This Plus with 1 strand using Classic Colorworks. And was that my first time stitching on 40 count? I kind of think it was. It's okay. No, it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of 40 count, but for some, I don't know, I just like felt like it, so that's what we did. And I made a little roll up, which I am going to make a finishing tutorial for this. It's super easy, and I think even if you're not an experienced sewer, you could handle this because you don't stuff it or anything. You just interface the layers, and you, in essence, make a pillow. So, you know, you make it and you sew it inside out, then you flip it, and then it just has a button and a ribbon. And I've just set it on a shelf like this to display it. But when I'm done displaying it, I can just roll it up. As a kid, I really, I don't know why, but I was fascinated with those like manila envelopes that they used to have those little, like the paper strings that you would tie it up like that. I don't know. So Diana at It Is Kismet Stitches gifted me like this silk sari ribbon. You can find that on Etsy, where they recycle silk saris and they tear them up into ribbon. It's really cool. And I just loved how, like, it's kind of, I don't know what's going on there, like peeling apart or something. So you can find this sweet little stitch in my shop, and of course it comes with a alphabet, so you can put your own name on it and not be a weirdo and stitch my name. Well, it's back there doing his cat with no head routine, which is where his beard drapes over his head. So it looks like he doesn't have a head. My Favorite Things by Creepy Cat Lady. So if you missed my market releases, those are all in my shop, as well as floss packs. My releases come in physical copies or PDFs. I have floss packs for all my new releases. Poor and Needy also comes with Buster Brown lace. And then I also have my Strutting Tom pattern, and you can find a few of the supplies for Tom in my shop as well, like the chenille and the palms. Oh Happy World. Penelope's Posies, I have the pins in my shop as well as the ribbon, and the pins come with this little crown charm. This was my sellout kit from last year, and so now I'm just releasing the pattern. A lot of people are stitching this, so Penelope's still hot. And then, of course, Mary Mary Needleworker. But to order a floss pack, you have to decide whether you are stitching the day version or the night version. Now, between you and me, the day version is selling better than the night version on the floss packs. Although when people came in my room and I made them vote which one they liked better, it was pretty even. But when it comes to stitching it, it's spring. We're all feeling it. Thank you so much for your support of my patterns and for also supporting your local needlework shop. I know that I really love, I mean, all the virus talk aside, I really love how the best sides of humanity are coming out, and we're all well aware of our small businesses and how we can help each other if we have the means. Let's talk what I've been stitching. Let's start with the big Mamba Jamba, my chatelaine. Okay. I'm going to try to sum this up because I have a lot to say about my big Mamba Jamba. Here's what she's looking like right now, because when you have your chatelaine on scroll rods that are really huge and long, and then you leave the house for a weekend, and there's really no place to stash said giant scroll frames, and you have to kind of leave it in a corner, but you have messy children and you're terrified that something's going to spill on it. This is what you do. Patent pending. Okay, so I finished stitching my chatelaine. I finished all the stitching. You heard me, all the stitching is done. And now I am on to the beading. Now, I have never beaded a project before. Never. Yeah, I just stitched a giant chatelaine and assumed I would be able to bead it because it's not that hard. Now, for some reason, here's my hang up. For some reason, I got it into my brain that beading is faster than stitching. I feel like somebody in the last 5 years must have said that in a Flosstube video because that was in my brain. And for some reason, like, it feels like when I see people stitching mirabilias and stuff, they're like, okay, now I gotta do the beading. And then they're done 3 days later. So what is that about? How are you done 3 days later? Because my beading is taking longer than stitching, without a doubt. I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense because not only you're having to make an entire cross stitch, but you're having to do it with a needle. You're having to do both legs of it, and you're having to get your needle through a bead. So that is slower than doing a normal cross stitch. So I don't know what kind of weird thing. I don't know how that got into my head, but my beading has been very slow. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you my whole chatelaine, unfortunately. I will post a picture that I've taken of it pre-beading on my Instagram eventually. But this is a lap stand that I've never used. This is by American Dream, I believe. I found it at a thrift store. Now, the rods are not long enough. So I had to kind of, how much did I pay for it? $6.99. I had to kind of like flip over the ends to make this fit on here, but I was not going to buy a set of scroll rods because I will never, things you change your mind about in the future. I will never stitch a project this big again, right? Right? So I just made it work, but I'm not a huge fan. I am not a fan of this lap stand because it's just simple screws here and over here. You know, basically every time I flip it around, it's getting too loose or too tight at one screw end or another, and so it's not smooth. It's not easy to maneuver. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but they're just screws. Like, how can you have operator's error with screws? Babbling on and on. I am finding beading not as relaxing as cross stitch. And I don't know if it's because I have to do this not in my stitchy spot at the table, kind of away from the family, can't watch the TV with everybody else, so it's like not something I'm doing very often. But it's getting done. And it's not hard. So at this point I have done this third is all the way beaded, and I'm sure you can't even see the beads. See, there's a pretty little, a crystal there. Interesting. Never done any crystal work either. So, okay, you can see this beaded garland I finished, and I finished this corner. Here's a pretty crystal. It's worth a lot of money. Okay, for my friends who don't know that I'm being completely facetious, it's not worth a lot of money. Just making stuff up. So this is probably going to be the heaviest section because all this middle is going to have crystals and beads. And then so I'm sort of a third done, but not really a third done. I want to be done with this one, but like I said, I'm not super enjoying the beading process, but it is gorgeous, and the more I look at it, the more I like it. Will I be ordering a rusty roof frame for this project? No. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Putting a chatelaine? No. No. This one I think is going to go to the experts at House of Stitches who know how to deal with needlework. So, that's my chatelaine. I guess I have to work on it now that I got it out of its garbage bag, project bag. Okay, my favorite project that I've been working on lately has been my Walk Fast sampler. Now this pattern I released in, I think, 2017. It is a Golden Girls quote. You can find it in my store right now as a PDF. It says, it's like that old Scandinavian saying, you can lead a herring to water, but you have to walk fast or he'll die. For whatever reason, I want this on my wall. I've loved it. It's classic. It still sells like really well. I have one other Golden Girls sampler, but you have to like know the Golden Girls to like understand the motifs and why things are on the sampler. So it's a little more like really niche Golden Girls cross-stitch sampler, which how much more niche can you get? Like how many people in the world want to stitch a Golden Girls cross-stitch sampler? Anyway, that one's called Formal Affair Sampler. That one isn't as popular as this one. I think because this is funny with or without understanding that it's from the Golden Girls. So I decided I wanted to, while it looks great in the DMC, I wanted to like stitch it with some Classic Colorworks overdyed flosses and some Picture This Plus linen. So here is how my herring is looking. I think the colors look so good. And that fish looks so worried and so handsome in his collar. I'm loving stitching on this. Let me show you the colors because they are fan-flippin-tastic. Here's the colors. So the fish is this bejeweled. It's just lovely. And this is one of my favorites. I used it on my Barbara Anna piece, Amber Waves. It's a great gold. Almost as good as Weeks Dye Works Whiskey. So that's Walk Fast, and that is stitching up pretty quick. What else have I been working on? Let's see what's in this bag. Okay, so I did add one more band onto my Heartstring Samplery, The Snow is Snowing. I don't feel like this one is going to get a lot of attention until winter. We did not have a very snowy, cozy winter. It was mostly gray and rainy and not very cozy feeling. So I'm thinking that that's why this one didn't get the attention I wanted to give it. But that's what it's looking like right now. This is a 25 count fabric from Leslie at Under the Sea, I think called Rosemerta, and it's really beautiful. It's a light pink, and I'm stitching it 1/1, which is another reason why I don't pick it up very often, because I want it to be tiny and I'm willing to do it, but I don't super enjoy it. But one cozy winter, I will finish it. Okay, I don't know that I've shown you this whip recently or if I've done any stitching in between then. I feel like my Flosstube flow and ability to remember what is going on was really interrupted by my wrap-up video and then Nashville videos, and like I got no clue. So maybe I stitched on this, maybe I didn't. Red Troublemakers. This is a full coverage piece by RTO. The artwork is by Maria Pavlova, who is a genius when it comes to painting watercolor cats. Here's where I am. It's looking great. It's looking really great. And when I get into this, it really goes pretty quickly and it's really enjoyable. It just takes a certain kind of full coverage mindset. I'll be done with it in 10 years. I think that is all I have been working on since I last updated you. I did acquire a couple patterns in the meantime that I will show you now. I acquired some great stuff at the Nashville Needlework Market. You can see that in my market wrap-up, reflections, philosophical musings video that I have posted previous to this one. Funny how the patterns that I'm about to show you both have birds. I love this. I have a necklace of this. I'll show you. Beth was selling these necklaces at Needlework Galleria, and this is Brown Bird Biscornu on, like, she must have like graphically switched the background fabric, and it's gorgeous on the black fabric. So then I had to buy it. I actually like this side even better than the top. Really beautiful. And then I picked this up too. Autumn Dreams. It's just beautiful, and I'm super into the fall. Like, when I did so many starts last fall and dark October, start all the creepy things like the newts and the turkeys, not creepy, but fall vibes, it stuck with me. I am just all about the browns and the golds. It's affected me. So, last two sections, let's talk about what I'm all into. And then I will show you what I wish I was stitching. What I wish I was stitching. What I'm all into. Okay, Walter is really gonna like this section. So if you have a cat, and you like your cat, and you order things off Amazon, and you have not tried this cat toy, you have got to order your cat this cat toy. It is called the Cat Dancer, and your cat will completely flip his lid. If you look at the reviews, it has like thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews, and it costs like $2. Why does it cost $2? Because it's literally a piece of wire. Look at him. He's like, what are you doing? It's literally, now he has used this. We have this on subscribe and save now. We're not like spendy, buy treats for ourselves all the time kind of people. Walter gets this every month. Number one, because it's $2. Number two, the cat freaks out. Now, he has used this one, as I said, but when it comes in the mail, it's this little piece of wire. And it has like 6 of these little, they're just like brown paper, okay? It has like 6 of these little brown paper things. The reason he gets it every month is because it lasts a couple weeks before he's completely chewed the brown paper off. You could reuse it. You could put more brown paper on there, but he'll get one in a couple weeks. The first time we got one of these, the cat started panting. Now, I didn't even know cats did that. He literally was panting with his tongue out because he had jumped all over the room so extremely that he could not catch his breath. Maybe he's got asthma, I don't know. But There's something about like the movement of it. It's less fun because it only has one piece of paper. That he absolutely dies. Like, I can get him, he will jump all over the bed. Anyway, I'm just gonna give it to him and not tease him. He loves it. So get yourself a cat dancer for your cat. Treat your cat. Thing number 2, old people puzzles. Now, I think there's something about puzzles that appeals to a lot of us cross-stitchers because it's kind of the same process, like something about like putting together the picture that appeals to us, and it's a quiet, introspective thing to do. I love puzzles. I would usually buy myself a puzzle of 800 to 1,000 pieces for a vacation because usually there's like an extra table that I can use. But my grandpa, I've been getting my grandpa's puzzles that he's done with. And Grandpa puts together 300-piece puzzles, which is why I call them old people puzzles, because the pieces are bigger. But I really like them because they take less time and you still get the puzzle high. You still get the puzzle high. And then it's not taking up your table for like a week, like a young person's puzzle would. Oh my gosh. The things I start talking about. I'm all into my new video editing software. I did not do research, people, but I knew that I needed to upgrade my video software. I've talked about this before. I didn't go, which one's the best? Let's price compare. Let's feature compare. I went out and I bought something. It's called Filmora, and it's user-friendly. I really like it. It does things and doodads that I like, and it has lots of features that I don't know what they are yet, but so far 2 thumbs up on expanding my video editing capabilities beyond free Windows Movie Maker. Nothing against Windows Movie Maker. I used it for almost 5 years and never did me wrong. It's very user-friendly if you are interested in making videos. Super easy to edit, but I wanted to be a big girl. Okay, because I played with him, now he's like all over me. Like, you want me? You love me? Let's purr. Let's purr together. Let's talk about what I wish I was stitching. This cat is 20 pounds, and having him on my lap, he's gonna fall off and he's gonna claw me. Okay, first of all, stop the presses because Tara Finnegan, the 805 stitcher, we did a little trade. He's biting me now because I'm not paying attention to him. We did a little trade, and I sent her some patterns because, okay, I initiated the trade because I wanted this bag. Because Tara finds fabrics that I cannot resist. So can you just admire this with me? Can you admire this with me? What are you doing? Stop it. No. Stop. This is my, this is my personality right here. Cows. What I wish I was stitching. You have to go away. What I wish I was stitching was this gift from my friend Janine McGowan. And I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I want to do something different for Mania, and I'm hoping that some of you would like to join me. I am hoping to do my method that I did last year and call it Stitchsania. And I'm hoping to start this then. This is Dame's Boarding School by Exemplar Dames. And the picture's terrible, but it's adorable. And I just want to do it like as a piece to our homeschooling days, which thought were over. But, you know. So I'm going to make another video about this, I think, but I'd like to do Stitchania, and I'd like you to join me if you are not of the Mania inclination. So what I did last year was I picked a piece that I wanted to make some serious progress on, and then set myself benchmarks for each week in May. And if I made the benchmark and made the progress on that whip that I really needed to see progress on, then I could have a new start on the weekend. So I haven't looked at May, but it might be 4 new starts total or 5 new starts, which to me isn't crazy. So that's Stitchania. Think about joining me. What I wish I was stitching on. And you know, I wish I was stitching on my 2 favorites from Market. I already talked about these in my Market video, but After the Roses and Huckleberry Farm from my girls. Can't you design smaller things, please? Please, Janine, why? They're so pretty. So look, there's 3 starts. Now I could pick a 4th for my Stitchania. Think about it. Gotta get my project bag out of the way. Let's talk giveaway. So if you watch my Nashville video, I gave away 3 Teresa Kogut charts over there, the Christmas variety. I have 4 for this video because Teresa is a crazy generous person. So if you are interested in these, please don't mention the word giveaway, but you can mention the titles that you are interested in. I will use random number generator to pick the winners. Let's start with the big, luscious Pet All the Dogs. Now, Teresa, I mean, like, this is amazing. And look at all these dogs down here. I love this. So she also recharted it, and inside is Pet All the Cats. Hug All the Cats. Hug All the Cats is inside. So if you are a cat person, you can still participate in this celebration of our furry friends. Next up is Bunny and Bee. This was one of my favorites that she released this year at Market. I just think it's adorable, and it's a quick, sweet little stitch. Bunny and Bee. Here's Punch Needle. If you are a punch needleist, here is Tilly, this adorable little goat, and it comes with the weaver's cloth inside. Last up is Fox and Friend. Adorable. This is a cross stitch pattern. So just mention the titles down below and I will draw names and get in contact with the winners. That is all I had for you today. You can interact with me on Instagram. You can join my newsletter. I am going to give out my spring bunny freebie via my newsletter down below. You can get all my other freebie patterns in my Lindy Stitchers cross stitch group on Facebook, Lindy Stitchers. And hey, thanks for being my friend. Walter's staring me down hard right now. Look at him. He's like, lady, please. You played with me, you talked about me, you wouldn't let me sit on your lap. I want lunch. Talk to you later. Bye, friends.